Hi guys, so today I had an idea that to repurpose a shirt that I had ruined. I had some new chalk markers, and you have to shake them a little bit to get the chalk moving. So I kind of had an accident on a white shirt. Maybe there was something I could have done to save this. I didn't do that, and I washed it hoping it would just come out, and it didn't. So now it's permanently on here, and I want to put some design on it. I don't want to ruin or waste the shirt. Live in Miami, so everything's always sleeveless, and I know I can repurpose this. So what I thought with this white background, it is a jersey knit, so it's like athletic wear. So it is kind of like that nylon. I wonder if this has like a tag. It's a Walmart brand, polyester spandex. So if you had sublimation, you could do this with your sublimation printer. I have an Eco Solvent printer, so it's great because I can do any design I want and just iron it on. It's fantastic. So if you don't have one of those printers, you could still do this project, and it's just to give you guys an idea to repurpose things that we have around the house. It's not always about grabbing some new materials and spending money, because I know we're always doing that as crafters. We never have enough crafts, but also about repurposing. So this is my idea. So I think you can kind of see my screen. I'm gonna create, and I'll do a better screenshot. I'm gonna create a flowing of flowers coming through, send them to the printer, and then cut them and then show you the process. So thanks so much for watching.
So here is my image on my desktop. Cricut has a ton of images that are free. Now I do pay for access, so I don't know if the images or the flowers that I chose were free or not, because it just tells me that I'm subscribed. If I was cutting maybe an image like this, if I was doing a layered design, this would be easier. If I was doing paper crafts, let's say I was doing just regular vinyl, I wouldn't want something as intricate as this yellow flower, because there would be so many other design. I would have to do so many layers, something might get ruined. You would want something simpler. But because I have an Eco Solvent printer that allows me to print my designs completely however I've done them without worrying about layering, and if you're doing sublimation with and you have a sublimation printer, this will work the same way. But with my printer, if you want to check it out, I'll include the links below so you can look at the video of my Eco Solvent printer unboxing, and then I have a 30-day review. So far it's a fantastic printer, and I'm able to choose whatever flowers I want. So for example, I don't have to be so picky about what I pick, because all of these intricate designs will work. I don't have to worry, for example, if I was cutting this flower, have to worry about what other colors I have or don't have and all that layering. So in the end, it does save me a lot, and it allows me to have more freedom with what I create. So finding the flower that I chose, so like I was saying before, I will find the flower that I'm interested in. I think it was one of these images, and you click on the 3 button here, and then you see how it says view image set. So it's going to show you the whole image set of those flowers. Now this isn't the one I chose, but it's okay, it's similar, it's the same idea. And then all of the design, the designer who put this together, and as window frame cards, it was meant for cards. Fantastic. I'm not going to use it for cards. I'm taking these designs and I'm going to go ahead and flatten them and make them into an image, and I can show you how I did that really quickly with another set. We'll just pick a couple flowers from here, and it's so simple, and it gives you so much freedom to be able to do what it is that you want. So I picked these 3 flowers, and we're going to go ahead and add them to canvas, and I'll just remove them because these are the ones I want to have. Okay, so these are the ones I just added. So all I did to create this big piece here that I'm gonna design is take the flowers that I wanted, and I knew I had measured my shirt, and I have 2 inches at the top that I need to fill in towards the right side. So this flower will work here, this one, and then it kind of opens up into my shirt. So I want to have a bigger rose or flower here. I think I'd like to send it back, just to send it to the back. There you go. So this one lays on top, just kind of, I think, looks prettier because of the color set. And then this one's fine there. I'm not sure if I like this one, but let's move the direction and maybe it'll look prettier. And then it kind of fills in the space. So that's kind of what I did until I found an array of flowers that I enjoyed. This is actually really pretty. It goes with my design. I'm probably going to print it also because it works. So, but from here, these images are, I'm going to group them, right? So that I can make them larger if I want to, but I like the size that they are. Actually might make them a little bit smaller. Just because I want to add, I'm going to probably do, now that I did that set, I'm going to do some flowers falling right on the shirt and maybe put this one, you know, in another place or whatnot. So depending on how I feel once I see the design. But and then I'm going to take this set that I have picked and I'm going to go ahead and to the right at the bottom, I'm going to click on flatten. And then that makes it one image. Okay, so sometimes Cricut Design Space decides that it wants to act a little foolish, right? We are taking images that were not intended to be printed in the way that we're printing them. We've changed their design, and I think that sometimes messes up the system, right? Not necessarily their fault, but it is what it is, right? This is the computer, so we can't control it. One way that I've found that really helps is since they added this offset feature, it's made life so simple. Because what I can do here is I can create the slightest of offsets, and I definitely don't want it in black. Put it in white. My shirt is white, so it's perfect. And then I, oops. Actually, we can just go in reverse. There. And then we're gonna go ahead and attach this. So now our image will print as one design. I'm going to do the same thing here. I went ahead and I'm going to add that with this one because we do have holes. Let's change it to white. But let's go ahead and go to our offset that's printed, which now is a little bit larger than it needs to be. We need to change it from print and cut to back to a basic cut. And we'll change the color again now, but it allows contour to pop up. So when you see the contour is gone, sometimes it is just because the style of your operation is different. So from here, if you saw, I clicked on show all contours. That removed these open spaces. This guarantees that I'm gonna have one fluid design. I don't want to have to weed anything out. I just want it to be one design. So, and then now we're going to switch that to white and we're good. So we have one, you know, stock design, and it's actually fine now. As you can tell, it isn't, well, this is a printed cut. We don't want it a printed cut. We need to switch this to, sorry, we don't want this to be a basic cut. We want this printed cut. And now it's going to tell us that there's an error. So, because it is larger than our designated printing area surface, with print and cut you do have those limitations. So it's supposed to be 6.75, at least the style I'm using, by 9.25, and I'm over the 9.25 right here. So I'm just gonna bring it down and we should be fine. And now the offset's almost completely gone, so, but that's okay. We're gonna center this again, and we're gonna go ahead and attach it and flatten it, and then we have our images. So these, we don't need to do it with this one or this one. We should be fine. We could if we wanted to, but again, it was just for all to kind of give you a demonstration. If when you go print it, you see that those are issues for you, this is a good solution. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've tried this also sometimes when I'm making stickers, and sometimes they just won't print the way I want them. They'll start to cut each flower individually or each sticker individually, even though I've made them into one image. And that's just the dynamics of the operating system we're using. you could create your designs in a different way. You know, I know that people go to Canva. I find that to be fine. You can do it. It's not a problem. But I like the Cricut software. I think it really does provide everything you need. It's very simple and easy to use, and it cuts down on the amount of processes and things I have to do. So I'm not a picky person, and I really do enjoy being able to create the design straight from here. So now we're going to click on Make It, and we have our 3 additional flowers on this page, and we have on our main page our big flower piece. So hopefully it fits and it covers up all those colored marks. We won't know until we do it. At the very least, it'll detract from the stains that I have. So keeping my fingers crossed that we hit all the pointers and that I measured it good, and now we'll send it to print. So I'll be back with my printed images. So we have our image printed from our printer, and print and cut feature will always print this black outline. It dries almost instantly from coming out of the printer. So we're gonna go and load it into our Cricut, and which is our next step, and press print. It was a very easy cut because it's just gonna cut on the outside like we talked about before, and it if you were doing this with vinyl, with regular vinyl, you would have had to mirror the image, cut it upside down. You wouldn't have. So this is very simple with this printer. Definitely something to write home about. So our second page cut, and this is the final result. It looks beautiful. Just came out of our printer, our Eco Solvent printer, and we're gonna go ahead and set it on our mat. Now, it's important. I used to think that it wasn't that big of a deal, but it is, that you align it correctly. Okay, guys. The print and cut feature on the Cricut, it's gonna scan. Yes, it is gonna scan your image, but it's assuming that these millimeters. So if you're not getting a good cut, you gotta look at the user error things. You know, if you've calibrated your machine, and if I have a video on how to do that. Just in case it seems daunting, I take you step by step. So step by step, if you have any questions, shoot me a comment on that video. But and one of the things that I noticed for myself was when I was being careless at how I was aligning my sheets, it made a difference on my print and cut. So, you know, you want to make sure you do a good job of that, right? You want to roll it on good. And the day they brought this out, this was heaven sent. It's really nice. And if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. Again, you know, you make do with what you've got. But those are the fun things. And then we're going to go ahead and send this to cut. Our pressures, everything's good. Printable vinyl, I have selected from the previous cut. And go ahead and get it cut. We're all done with that. Okay. My favorite part is the weeding. So, one of the things that I enjoy the most about having this printer is how this is what called me to the printer. That was beautiful. Okay, next. And this one's cut off. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, I had to shrink this one a bit. So that's why the offset looks a little different. Remember, I had to shrink one side because it wasn't fitting. It's not a big deal. Our shirt's white. You'll see. You won't be able to tell. So it's not a big deal with what we're doing, but if you were doing something different, it might have been an issue for you. So let's see how we are going to... We still have to do one more process to get our vinyl ready to be ironed, but I want to
check this out. And it looks like now in hindsight 2020, I'm gonna need to put a flower on this side too. So I'll cut that one later. But we just need a small one there. We do want to kind of see what's gonna happen. And looks pretty good. Pretty good. There's some blue stains still showing here. Maybe if I bring it up higher, I could cover that one. And maybe what I'll do down here, it looks pretty good. There, just there. That's exactly what I'll do. There's still one showing right here, but in all honesty, I'd much rather cover these bigger ones down here and miss that one because it looks tiny. It'll be on my sleeve, probably just like this, so it might not even be that noticeable. That's gonna look great. And then so if we put that one there, let's move this up so we can kind of design and have an idea of what we're gonna do with the other ones. There. Let's cut these out. You're going to want to cut these regardless. When we do our transfer tape, I'm going to show you it's the next step when you're doing these Eco Solvent printer. It goes on top. Do you see how beautifully that offset came out? You see why it was just because I adjusted this one, and it's off by a little bit, not too much. I probably should be cutting all of these closer. You'll see why now. Just a rough cut, nothing perfect, but definitely want to get rid of all this extra. Kind of gets in the way. Okay, I love this Cricut scissor. If you don't have it, get it. It's fantastic. Okay, so then we want to kind of figure out where we're going to put the rest of these flowers. I could always put this flower up here. That'll work to get rid of that one spot, and I don't have to cut anything else. And it looks like it'll look cute. I would probably layer it on top just because of the white offset. I don't want it to, it would definitely show. So that could go there. And then considering the shirt, it's kind of turned. Let's try and get the shirt a little bit straight. This would go like that. I thought maybe like some flowers falling would look pretty. You know, like another set like that. I think that looks pretty. I could always put one in the back of the shirt, which will add some, you know, tie it in a little bit, but I could just layer it a little bit more too. So there's so much I could do. So let's go ahead and put this on the transfer tape. So it's always good to visualize your project. So that you kind of have an idea of what you're going to do. So now what we need to do, I'm going to cut this one. We need to put this on our transfer tape. Remember that the only reason we did an offset on this image is because I wanted to show you that if you ever run into the problem that because it is a multiple images together, and the Cricut doesn't read it right for some reason, even if you flatten it, because it's happened to me multiple times, and then I go back and I'll try to fix it thinking I did something wrong, and it wasn't that I did anything wrong, it was literally something in Cricut Access because the image wasn't set up that way originally that it gives me that issue. Maybe they fixed it, maybe eventually it'll be something that's corrected. Right now, I just did it last week and it happened to me, so I wanted to show you what I do as a backup fix to get it to print as one flat image. Sometimes if flatten doesn't work and attaching it doesn't work. So sometimes when you go to attach it, it changes all the colors. You have to flatten it first and kind of trick it and bring it back. So anyways, if you got questions on that, let me know and I will elaborate some more. But in the meantime, we will move on. So what we gotta do is put this on to transfer it. So you know how you look at HTV and HTV, you have to mirror it. So what we're doing now is creating that mirroring process. by putting it on a high-tack surface and going ahead and attaching it to, this is the old one, this is why I cut it, because it stays on there. It's not a big deal, but so let me do this how I'm comfortable, because I ruined an image recently because I got so comfortable, so like, oh, it's so easy, and then of course then you go and you ruin your stuff. I don't want to ruin my images, so I'm very happy with how they came out. So it's a high-tack sheet, so we're basically just going to create our mirror. So I'm going to put that there, put this here. You see why cutting those edges works so nicely? Because now I can kind of create these. And then I got to cut them off again, so I can actually might work better here. We don't want to crowd them too much, so it's not a big deal. Almost messed that one up. Let's not crowd them. I have a lot of this product. If I was running low, then maybe, but not under the circumstances. Okay. Once it's on, guys, it's on. So it's not that big of a, for example, you just don't want it to curve, you know, because once it attaches, it's attached. So as long as it's on, you'll see. As long as it's flat is what I'm trying to say, you'll be fine. And then I'm bringing my, oh, sorry, my neck's killing me. And we'll just cut straight across. Separate our giant roll of high-tech transfer tape. You have to have transfer tape that is made for iron-on. If you don't, regular transfer tape will not tolerate the high heat of the ironing process. So I was doing that at first because regular transfer tape was cheaper, and then I found that my transfer tape was kind of melting and it was making me so many ways anxious. So now we're separating each image because they're curved and not a straight image. I'm just kind of free cutting them. So sorry, let me get that in the camera. Okay. Easy peasy. Now you're going to go ahead and take the back sheet off. This is our transfer sheet paper. We're going to keep that one, so don't toss it. And then you're going to take your vinyl sheet off. Oh. I don't know what it's doing. Why it's acting like this, but oh well, it's working now. So now you put this back on, and just so that it doesn't stick to everything. And then let's do this one. Let's go ahead and roll this a bit so that remember, it's supposed to stay on the transfer tape. Did it with this one too. So weird. So weird. Maybe because I have that pre-cut. Maybe it's the vinyl. Who knows? Okay. Same thing with this one. We're just gonna pull this back. This one had no problems, but this is a vinyl that I had just cut. So maybe having it pre-cut isn't so good of an idea. Every day you learn something. And even when you think you've got it, when you're crafting, hey, that will happen. Nope, this one's doing it too. That was the same sheet, so Oh, I didn't press this one more. Again, normally that I don't have to do this, so I'm not sure what's going on. But we will go with it. I'll tell you guys. Oh man. Come on. You've got that other little piece loose. Why can't you just say? There you go. Once you got the whole thing, it seems like it's fine. It's like the initial little corners are... Anyways, where's that going? We are good. We're ready. So now our final step is to prep our space for ironing. And I have a great solution to doing this in a portable way. So for my surface, I use this rubber mat, which is from a press, a regular press, and it's just like a replacement mat. And this is a Teflon sheet, so it's great. So I can do my Cricut Easy Press anywhere I want. I have a nice surface now, but before I used to have to move it around, so this is a great set. Okay, so let's go ahead and prep our shirt. Now, we do want to lint roll our shirt, but I want to get it in here first. I want to put the rubber mat on inside the shirt first, just to keep it straight, because the shirt was like kind of moving all over the place when we were testing it. So I want to make sure that I have all the areas that I need in the middle, and we're going to have to adjust each time because of course we're using a couple of images. So I think this looks good. Let's go ahead and roll it. We'll fix it again now, just don't want to have any stray hairs. Perfect. Now fix this. And then our image is gonna go. Oh. Nope. We need it higher. I think I wanted it more to this side. Oh. What I could do is, I like that. I just want that edge there, and then this one here. Okay, that's where it's gonna go. Let's go ahead and warm up our Cricut Easy Press and go from there. The Easy Press is great with Cricut because they really do give you everything you need to figure things out. There's no guessing. Usually your vinyl, whatever vinyl you have, is going to tell you what your pressure, what your temperature should be. And the Easy Press is, you can't see when I'm setting it, but I'll do it like this so you can, nope, you can't see it there either. I don't think you can see the numbers regardless, but you know, it's so easy to work. And I'm going to go ahead and raise the temperature up to, I can't see it anyway, so I'm going to maybe now. I know that my vinyl needs, turn it on again. My vinyl says that it needs to be 305. Come on. 305. But you also want to make sure that your fabric can tolerate whatever temperature your vinyl is telling you to set it at. Because I am not using Cricut vinyl, because I think if it were that, then you could go on their website, you can check on their website, they have this whole setup where you pick what equipment you're using, what a vinyl you're using of theirs, and then what material you're using. So it's great if you stick with Cricut products. Now, that doesn't always work. For example, Cricut doesn't have a product that is HTV printable vinyl, so I can't use theirs. Yes, their products are also more expensive most of the time. So, you know, you work with what you've got. Now, I know that this is, the fabric will be fine. And I know that my vinyl does really well. My HTV vinyl, printable vinyl, does really well with the temperature that they have. I've tried different temps, and it doesn't work as well. So I'm going to go for that 305, 15 seconds, and I can pull cold or hot. So once my easy press is ready, we will go ahead and press it. Now, you can, and it is indicated most of the time, you can preheat your fabric. So that's something else. But I was very indecisive of where to put it. You saw how many times I lifted it and put it down. So I didn't want to, I got sidetracked and I didn't do it. I have never noticed that it makes much of a difference, but if you want to follow the rules, that's what they tell you to do. So following those rules are going to guarantee, because that's the product that they've given you, they've done the trials, that you're going to guarantee that your product is going to come out good. So we're ready. That's what that sounds like. Okay, so I have my image on my shirt. I have a mat protecting the bottom, and then I have my, what is this called again? I don't remember. Teflon sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my Cricut Easy Press on my image, and I'm going to press my little Cricut button, and I'm going to hold it there. And this, with a medium pressure, is based off what my vinyl says I should be doing. So now we will lift our Teflon sheet, and it does look adhered. We're going to go ahead and peel, because we can peel. Oh, this little edge here lifted. We're going to go ahead and do that one more time. And without the Teflon sheet, which I probably should do the Teflon sheet, because I usually do 2 presses either way, but I like to do the second one once I have the sheet off. The Cricut, not the Cricut, the transfer sheet off. So there we go. Now it's stuck. It's pulling at my image, so we want to be careful. Yeah, this one seemed like too. So this is why I tell you that I like to do one without the covers, with just my Teflon and without this plastic over it, so that I can. And there we got another piece. So definitely we need another press. I didn't put enough pressure in some of these, and sometimes when you're doing shirts, if you've got like edges like that, this is a stretchy shirt. Iron-on, this iron-on is not made for this type of shirt. It's just a very generic iron-on. So that's why you choose different fabrics to work with. So a lot of it is still raising. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another go, guys. I'm struggling with it too much, and that's not usually how it works. So we'll see. Again, the product that you're using makes a difference, like the fabric. So this fabric probably needs a hotter press. It can tolerate it, and I didn't do that, so it was giving me all those issues. And now, if you can see, it's peeling, no problems. Oh, this flower here it's still giving me issues because of the type of fabric that it is, and it can tolerate that high heat, and it needs it to really adhere the material. So you know what I'm going to do? Instead of continuing to do it with my big Easy Press, I'm going to go ahead and take our mini and work on those edges that are giving us issues. I do say I'm really excited about how the shirt's coming out. It looks so pretty. Really wish it wouldn't have given me so many issues. You see, like, it printed great and it cut great, so then you have issues transferring it and ironing it on. It's like, it never fails. If anything, let this video be a reminder that nothing's perfect and that we've got to just go with it. So when things don't go right, you gotta adapt. It's almost ready. Let's see, it's ready. Let's start. I'm gonna do these outer corners, which seem to be the ones. And that's the thing with the big easy press, is that you can't really like do specific areas. You've got to do everything, and that might not be what you need all the time, you know. So these little easy press is so nice. I love it. You can get all these little corners in and whatnot. Give them the extra attention that they need. This whole flower came up. That's too funny. And again, my vinyl is meant to be weeded hot or cold, so you know, it just depends on your vinyl. But yeah, mine is fine like this, guys. It's not a user error. Our shirt's looking super nice. Very happy with the results, and we're gonna go ahead and add some of those extra flowers down here. So let's go ahead and move it up a little bit. Put our timer on, and we're gonna wait 15 seconds and then move it. And just kind of do each section in that way. Because it's been giving us so many issues, it definitely wants that higher heat, and we're gonna have to do it again. And right here. So this is a great way just to kind of utilize stuff that you have around the house that you want to fix, correct. I didn't want to get rid of the shirt; it was relatively new, and I made that mistake. So this is a really pretty design. Just to kind of take it from, you know, possibly tossing it to, I'm sure you can tie-dye it too. I've never tried to tie-dye something like polyester like this, but I'm sure it would work. Okay, let's go ahead and take a peek at what we've got. It's doing so much better. And I believe this is a higher heat at where I have the setting, so let's go ahead and give it another press, and then we'll just do 15 seconds, but we'll do it everywhere. Voila! So our final flower is probably gonna fit here. So it's not adjusted too much. Okay, let's do this. Now, with this one, we don't want to press on the other flowers with the vinyl, the transfer tape, because it might create ridges on our design. So I just want to make sure we're not on there. I got pretty close. And then we'll move it again. Actually go right like this, and then we'll do one more press afterwards. So we went from having a stained shirt to having a beautiful floral. Really happy with how this came out.
Yeah, we ran into some difficulties, but I think it's great sometimes to just show you how, you know, we troubleshoot. We just kind of go and flow with it, you know, and it works out and it comes out beautiful. So our design is absolutely stunning. So I just wanted to show you the shirt, trying it on, how nice it looks. It came out really cute. I think obviously because it is jersey, it doesn't stretch, not this HTV, right? So that would be the only thing that I would say, is that make sure that the material that you're using works with, this is not a stretchable HTV. It is, sorry, my phone's buzzing on the camera. It's not stretchable HTV, so you can see how some of it is kind of pulling on the image, but it looks so pretty. I'm so happy with it, and I wasn't gonna be able to wear it before, so I love that this came out this way. So thanks so much for watching.